Oh, fuck! Fucking hell. Shit. Oh my god. Ah, shit. You know what? The whole of today, right? I've been feeling this kind of feeling in my body, and I'm like, what is this feeling? It's like electricity. I'm like, why? Where is this coming from? Is it from the strange little water fountain thing that I've got in my room? Is it because I got a new pot plant? Is it background static from the universe? Where is this electricity coming from? And of course, Avengers Endgame is available to watch for me tomorrow. It could not be closer, yet so far away. Right, so I was like, oh, what is that? And it's been there the whole evening, since the early evening to the late evening now, and it's the early morning. It's 1 a.m. and I'm freaking out even more because I found out that I can see this film at 9 a.m. I'm gonna die! I've never been so excited I've never been so excited for a film in the whole of my life. That is a true fucking fact. Look at my face, people. Look at my face. I'm dying. A little bit of poo came out yesterday. I was so fucking excited. I didn't even realise. I was like, Endgame. And I was like, I'm so fucked in the brain. I was so, mind blown in anticipation. I haven't seen it yet. I'm so mind blown in anticipation. I couldn't even judge my own farts correctly, and it wasn't even a fart. It was runny poo waiting to come out. I thought it was a fart, and I pooed in it. And it went all in my pants, and it seeped through the pants into the trousers. It was horrible, but this is the excitement. I'm telling you, the fucking thing. You know, I'm like a junkie who hasn't had any heroin for a year. One whole year. I mean, Captain Marvel, I didn't want to see it. I had to see it because it was forced upon me by the franchise, and I was like, I know this film is going to be shit. I could see it was shit from the trailers. I wasn't interested in it, but I had to fucking see it so that I at least knew the things that were in it in order for the lead up for the fucking Endgame. I even watched Ant-Man and the Wasp, and I'm like, I'm not a big fan, you know, Ant-Man, okay, fine, but I'm not like, whoa, Ant-Man, you know, I'm like, Ant-Man. Actually, Ant-Man and the Wasp was better than the first one, I thought. I thought it was funnier. Anyway, and I only just watched Captain America the Winter Soldier for the first time, and Guardians of the Galaxy 1 for the first time, because somehow I managed to miss out on those. I've seen everything else that the MCU had done, and I hadn't seen those two, which are pretty key films. Yeah, but I hadn't seen them, so I've caught up on everything. I know everything. I've seen everything. I believe I've seen everything that there is to see, and it's like, oh, what's this feeling? And obviously, I've known that I'm excited about Endgame. I have been excited about Endgame for the past fucking year, and I actually think, right, that the year since the snap to now has been one of, constant anticipation. I want to say constant. I mean, it's like it's been in there in the background, and then it comes up, and I'm like, and then it kind of goes down again because you do other things, and then it comes back, and you're like, and then then you watch a few little other bits of like Marvel stuff, and then like you watch some kind of videos about previous MCU films, and you just like watch maybe some theory videos and stuff, and you're like, right, and like I've never been a fan of anything to the point that I am a fan of the MCU right now, I suppose. I mean, I'm not even a fan of the MCU, I'm a fan of the Avengers. I'm a fan of the Avengers films specifically. And Iron Man definitely. Captain America is not my favourite character. He's a cool guy, I like him. I like Captain America, I like the Hulk. I like Iron Man is my favourite character. Particularly Robert Downey Jr.'s way of bringing him across. Yeah, other characters a little like me, but like Iron Man, my favourite character. Probably Bruce Banner himself, my second favourite character. Because I really like Mark Ruffalo as an actor. I also love Thor. Thor's awesome. Some of his early films are a bit shit, but Thor lately has really sort of pulled himself together, like the short hair. Oh my god. Yeah, so fuck. So finally I realised where that electric feeling was coming from, because I hadn't even pinned that to it. I was like, where is this coming from? I was like, maybe it's like some energy I'm picking up from the universe. It probably is the excitement for Endgame is the energy I'm picking up from the fucking universe. And it's inside me, and it's outside me, and it's everywhere. And I'm hoping that when I go to see it tomorrow, I'm going to see it twice tomorrow, because I am a maniac. And I've got a lot of free time on my hands. So I'm going to see it in the morning. I may even see it 3 times tomorrow. It's unlikely, but I may see it 3 times. I'm probably going to see it at 9. There's one at 9:30. There's one at 11:50. If I don't wake up for 9, it's unlikely. But if I don't wake up for 9, I'll probably go for the 11:50 because it's in a bigger screen. At my local cinema in Slough. So I am dying with anticipation. I've never been in such anticipation for a film ever. I mean, I was anticipating the Jurassic World movie when that came out. The first one, Jurassic World. That's what it's called. Yeah, Jurassic World. And I was like, ooh. And then I was like, ooh, about Jurassic World 2. But I've never been like, about a film. And now I am. So I think this is a great moment in cinema history. It's a great moment in my life as a film goer, because there have been times in the recent past where I've been like, there's nothing on at the cinema, and for like a long period of time, like maybe even a couple of years, where I'm like, everything's kind of weak, films are a bit weak, it's all disposable, nothing has a big impact, nothing's really meaningful, blah, 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 it's just the same thing, everything's a bit kind of meh. And then we've come from Infinity War was an awesome film for me. I loved it. I loved the fact that the bad guy won. I was really in support of that. I loved the fact that a load of fucking people died who we like. Because from my personal perspective, from my own life experience, is that life doesn't always go well. And it's nice to see that being reflected in a cinema experience as well. In a way that's not been like made into a horror film, I just like to see loss happen, and I like to see people deal with loss. And I also love the epicness of the fact that everyone has a go on Thanos, like trying to fucking come on, and they can't do it. And it's like, I just love the whole of that film. And I watched that film 8 times, potentially more, but at least 8 times. And I could probably recite that film to you. I'd be one of those dicks who, when that film is on, I will just be able to say every line as it comes up, because I just watched it so much. I couldn't do it right now though. Yeah. And then, coming out of this period in time at the cinema where I was getting really jaded with cinema, I was really jaded with cinema. Like, I'd gone to see so many films, because it was around probably 2005, 14 that I suddenly kind of switched on. I was like, oh, it's half price tickets on a Tuesday in my local cinema. It's only £4. And I was like, whoa, you know, and I just started going. I'd sometimes see 2 films in a day, or like on the save day, I'd sometimes see 2 films, and I definitely made a point of going to see 1 film at least every single week, and I did that for a long time. And after doing that, like I'd seen so many films, I kept seeing like films and films and films and films and films. Some were nice, some were good, some were terrible. Mostly the averaging was just kind of like in the middle, like meh. So to have these, both Infinity War and then prospectively Endgame tomorrow, being such big deals, it's amazing. Like, if you'd come to me 2 years ago and asked me, what do you think about stuff in the cinema? I'd be like, yeah, everything's superhero stuff, you know. Everything's big blockbusters and, you know, like nothing really has any meaning and it's all the same, it's all trashy, you know, it's all kind of throwaway stuff. It doesn't really have an impact. It doesn't really like kind of stay with you afterwards, you know, you just forget about it. But like, I can say that Infinity War, kind of has been there with me in the background since I went to see it, because I went to see it and then I went to see it again and again and again and again or whatever. And when I kind of maxed out on seeing it, something stayed with me from it. It's like maybe it turned into this sort of sensation of background. Oh, something's happened, you know. It's almost like something has happened in my world. It's like it became so personal that it's like, these are maybe friends or relatives or something, like something bad has happened in my world and you just know it in the background. You just know, like, oh, you know, Thanos has killed Thanos has killed half the universe. And it's real in that sense, you know, that there's something continuous in the background every now and again. You go, oh, everything, you know, oh, half the world is dead. And it's been there like that, and it kind of it coloured the whole of that year, which made that year, for me, be about grief, basically. That year was all about grief. From a little bit before that, when I had some sort of tangential grief experiences from people in not my family, but my family friends, people who I don't really know anymore, but used to know-ish, kind of. My mum and my dad knew them quite well, but they died. So that started off this kind of grief thing going on. And then the Infinity War thing happened, and I was like, okay, grief. And then some other things came along about grief as well. And so that whole year was like, whoa, it was all about grief. So really that Infinity War it kind of fed into and added to this whole tone of that year for me personally, about grief and loss. I mean, I've already been thinking about grief and loss for a long time, about, in a personal sense, like the things I've lost in my life, and coming to terms with old things that I lost that I didn't even realize I'd lost, and kind of recovering my good feeling, and even like getting things that I used to have, bringing them back in terms of like items, and reconnecting with old people and old loves, and in terms of like things I used to love doing. Like I reconnected with gaming, which I went off gaming for like 10, 15 years because I thought I was too mature for it, and I just kind of blocked it out of my life, and I just didn't do it anymore. And I reconnected with gaming. What else did I do that was inspired by the grief? Well, a lot of my books, stuff that I've written, comes from a place of recognizing loss and integrating loss, and like learning from loss, and sort of reevaluating your life because of loss and stuff like that. So, yeah. So, back to that point I was making, like, it's really, really cool that there have been the Infinity War film and now Endgame, that I mean, I just know that Endgame is going to be the biggest film I've ever seen, possibly ever, literally ever. And it's just really awesome to finally get something meaningful out of the cinema, whereas before it had been kind of meaningful here and there, but never like with such power as that kind of sense coming. So there you go. I broke my I'll talk to you in the year 2020 rule. I was going to save videos until 2020, but I was just bursting to do a video. I am going to go back to my rule. I don't think anything is going to peak past me. It's not going to make me break the rule. But yeah, so there you go. There's my anticipation video. Might do a review of the film. Probably won't do a review because I will feel satisfied after seeing it. So I won't need to sort of vent. There you go. I hope you're excited for it too.